Oh my God, Jenny Jam is in my garden. Welcome to the latest episode of Locally Grown. My name's Chip Pye, DMV Photographer, and I'm working on my new series called Locally Grown, in which we grill, garden, and groove. This is my garden. We just had some grilling, and Jenny Jam is going to provide the grooming. How is the chicken?
The chicken was great,
Yep.
Chip. I loved it. Always liked a little barbecue on it. And yes.
You got to burn it just right.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
You do.
So,
So, thank you for inviting me.
thanks for blessing my garden with your grooves. All right. So tonight, what we're gonna do is I wanted to get Jenny down here. Jenny's been doing a lot of things lately, and I want to talk to her about that. But first, I want to ask her about how she got started with her musical career, and she's had a cool musical career.
Thank you. Well, I mean, it all started when I was a kid in Jersey. I don't come from a musical family, but yeah, I just wanted to play guitar, so I kept dreaming about it. And then I got my first guitar up there, and then I moved down here in my late teens, pretty much, and started taking lessons, more lessons, and I took lessons from a guitarist, a female guitarist. Her name was Dee. She was actually a very well-known guitarist in the Montgomery County area, and she was like her specialty was blues. But she basically taught me everything I wanted to play. That she's like, tell me what songs you want to play, and then she taught me a little bit of theory. But I never really took like actual like musical education, formal lessons. It was mainly just learning a lot from her. So yeah, and then after that, I just kind of joined, different acts, folk, to rock, a couple of rock bands, a couple of pop bands, and then had my first experience. And being from DC, the go-go scene, pretty much had my first experience being in my first go-go band, which I had no idea what the heck that was, coming from Jersey, but it was with Pleasure, and it was the first all-female go-go band, and yeah, I mean, pretty much I learned a lot from being in that group.
So then, from Pleasure, where did you go?
Well, Pleasure, I was with them for about a year, and we got picked up by Salt and Pepper. They were looking for a female band, and they asked us to tour with them. So that I thought was very cool. So I was like, yeah, heck yeah! So me and some of the musicians in the group went with them, not everybody. So that included Claudia. Actually, it was me and Claudia and the bass player.
Claudia has accepted an invitation to play it
Hey,
Locally
Claudia.
Grown. She'll be here soon.
Yeah, so we toured with them for about 3 years. We also, from that tour, did a tour with High Five and the singing group High Five and Crystal Waters. But we did a lot of big things. We went overseas, a country. It was like a tour, and we did a Singing Hall show. We did a TV, what do you call it, the cable TV type thing, called Sisters in the Name of Rap. I mean, it was a really great experience. And coming back from that, pretty much I was, continuing in R&B bands and cover bands, more R&B and hip hop. And that's where I met like Harris, and I started to get to know Cherie, because we were kind of like in these groups, in and out, like playing in these groups. Yeah, and then, so pretty much,
Right. And then Belladonna?
Oh, yeah, Belladonna, I was with them like in 2000, it started in 2008, so that was a long time. That was what, like
8 years?
8 years.
8 years. 7 years now. Yeah.
7 years.
Yeah, 2015, okay. Yep.
So it was it was fun.
And you just recently left them and you're doing some new things. What are you doing?
Yeah, so the new things I'm doing is I actually joined a rock funk band called Pebble to Pearl, and they're based out in Virginia, and they actually play a lot of venues out in Virginia and North Carolina, and just all these places that I'm like experiencing now, all these new venues, and they're rock funk, and they do a lot. They also do originals, but they do a lot of covers, and it's just basically I'm kind of like going back to where I started,
Uh-huh.
you know, playing in rock bands. And so a lot of the music they do, I've never played it before, but I know it. Like they do a lot of Prince, they do a lot of, they do Journey, they do Bon Jovi, they do some, well, Bruno Mars, you know, so some of the songs I do know, like maybe I played in, you know, in other bands, but, you know, it's been a while. So yeah, it's just a real new, challenging experience with them. And then I'm also in an original project called Dream Unleashed, and they're more jazz, R&B, gospel, fusion kind of like. Dream Unleashed is run by Kim Jordan, and she's in, you know, a keyboard extraordinary. You got to look her up. Vocalist, producer, everything. She played with
Gil Scott Heron?
Yeah, Gil Scott Heron. That's her big thing. She's toured all over the world. Also, Kayla Waters is in the band. She's a keyboard player. Her father is the famous Kim Waters sax player. We have Tiffany Lloyd, bass player, and Risha. She won some contest, hit like a girl contest. She's a drummer. She's very good. She just joined us. So, yeah, it's very different from what I'm used to, because it's more gospel, jazz, fusion. So it's challenging. It's, you know, and I'm kind of digging it.
All right.
You know?
All right.
So yeah, so pebbletopearl.com if you want to get a listing of shows, and dreamunleashed.com you can get.
They're going to be
all the
right
searches.
around here.
Yeah.
So, and what are you going to do for us now in the garden?
Well,
for Bebop and I.
Yeah, I know. Shoot. Well, I mean, you know, I'll probably rock out a little bit with just like a couple of little things that I. But you know what? I don't even know. But I just know that I'm going to be doing something.
Well, great. We like music in the moment here on Locally Grown.
Something cool and whatever.
All
We'll
right.
see. You know.
I'll step out of the way and turn it over to you.
Let's try it.
All right. Now that was really something, Jenny Jam.
I had a great time.
I'm really pleased you did this in my garden.
And I am so honored to be asked to be in your garden.
The garden of locally grown.
Yep.
And I want everybody to tune in next week because we're going to have more guests. We're going to have Genny Jam back. Jenny Jam's going to come back and bring a friend or two.
Yeah.
And musicians out there, this is going to be a big show. Get with me. Get your friends together. Come out. Play something you normally don't play here in my garden with the grill going on locally grown.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.